Hi, fifth graders. We are back for another reading lesson, and I have loved hearing about your books in our team meetings, and I hope that you're really enjoying them the further you get. So, today we are going to talk about complicated characters. And often, when we hear about movies or books, we hear about either the good guy or the bad guy. But they're a lot more complicated than that. So, today our learning target is that we can look for complex character traits. Sometimes in that good guy or the hero, there's going to be some flaws. And also in the villain or the bad guy, there can be some good things that we find in them as well. So, just like real people, there's a lot of different sides to us. So, of course, we want to be all good. But a lot of times, there's a struggle that you might be having on the inside that you're not sharing with other people. There also, I know a lot of times when you hang out or are around different people, you might act a different way. So, say when you come to school, you might act a certain way, and when you go home, you might act a different way. Or when you're with your friends, you might act one way, and when you're with your grandma, you might act a completely different way. So our characters are complex in that same exact way as real people. They have many different sides and many different traits that kind of intertwine in both good ways and bad ways. So they're not just good guys and bad guys. So to explain this a little more, let's think about the characters in our book Rowan of Vryn, the read aloud that we've been reading together. So first I want to talk about Sheba. And we might characterize her as kind of our bad character. She's unpleasant, she's tricky, intimidating, greedy, and powerful. Those are some of the main traits that I thought of when I thought of our character Sheba, because no one wanted to go visit her. She just wanted cheese. She was really unpleasant to be around. She hit Rowan with a stick, and obviously she's playing tricks on them as she doesn't really give them an answer about the mountain, but then we find out later that the stick was actually a map, so that's where the trickiness comes into play. So even though she has all of these negative traits, she's also really wise, which happens to be a good trait, even though she's not really our best character. She's not really the good guy in our book, but she has this positive trait, which is how our characters come to be complex. She's really wise and has a lot of knowledge about the mountain that she needs to share with the rest of the characters in the book so that they can climb the mountain and save their village. Then we also have Rowan, and we know that Rowan is a good guy, and he seems to be a character who is gentle, kind, obedient, protective, and caring, especially with the bookshop. The bookshop are like his responsibility, and he really cares for them and thinks about them all the time as he carries out his daily life. And we know that he just wants to be good for them. And he also is really obedient. Like when he was told to go get the cheese and take it to Sheba, he did exactly that. And so we might characterize him as a good character, but also on the other hand, he has these negative traits that are getting in his way. He's shy and he's fearful, and that's impacting the way that he's interacting with the other characters and within his duties of leading them up the mountain. He's really scared, and that gets in his way. So this shows us that characters are really complex, and we've learned that in our books, they're going to be complicated just like the people in real life. There are many sides to characters and to people. we have lots of different traits that show and are exposed at different times in our life and in different places and with different people. So, as you're reading your fantasy books this week, I want you to think about the complicated traits and or complex traits that your characters have and make some lists just like I did where you can list out all the good things or all the negative traits and vice versa. That way, when we meet in our teams meetings this week, we can talk about how complex our characters are and how there's many different sides to all of our characters. Have a good one and enjoy your books this week, you guys.